This is reality TV that works. Startups, made in Kansas City.
Well, it's great to be here. This is our first presentation at 1 Million Cups. I'm Parker, this is Dan. As he mentioned, we started Startup Weekend last year, and we're in the Think Big Accelerator now.
1 Million Cups is unique because it's the only weekly program that runs for entrepreneurs in Kansas City. The entire program is run by a team of entrepreneurs, and you have entrepreneurs presenting to an audience that is primarily made up of other entrepreneurs.
Oh, it's so exciting. We've gone from a handful of 20 or 30 Coffin employees, now almost 200 plus.
From my own perspective, I only knew 5 local startups. And when we were trying to do 2 startups per week, we thought, well, this is either going to be a short-lived program or we're going to uncover a lot of new companies. In 2012, we showcased 70 local startups and had over 3,000 people come through the program.
Each week is more and more people. The phenomenal thing about it is the fact that it's not a tech meetup. It is actually a meetup of entrepreneurs.
The people you meet at 1 Million Cups really varies, and I think that's that's a factor of the richness of the community that we've built. It's tech startups, we've had furniture manufacturers, we've had food products, entrepreneurs of every stripe, investors, and really just people who are interested in being part of this community.
And so every week we're seeing a wide range of ages, a wide range of markets, and so every type of entrepreneur you can think of coming together in a room and supporting each other.
I looked at and I started talking to people in the Kansas City scene, and I connected with Herb and Tyler from Think Big. And I knew about Google Fiber and I knew about Kaufman. So I put all those pieces together and it became a no-brainer.
About last year, Nate Olson, who started 1 Million Cups, approached me about becoming involved. And I had attended 1 Million Cups several times and just found it to be exactly what Kansas City needed.
1 Million Cups started from a hypothesis that if we could get Kansas City's entrepreneurs to drink 1 million cups of coffee together, talking about their startups, their troubles, and also their successes, that we could fundamentally change the culture of entrepreneurship in Kansas City.
As an entrepreneur, I love Kansas City. I love being able to be in this community. The people here are great. To be able to walk into a room like this and just shake hands with the number of people that are here and the quality of people that are here.
One of the things that we saw that we were lacking in Kansas City was connections. There's a lot of people that have started extremely successful companies here in Kansas City. A lot of early stage entrepreneurs wanting to start companies in Kansas City. But what we lacked in the Midwest was the experience of how does a community come together?
It's vital to really create that communications link between established businesses and the startup community. Those large organizations, those established businesses in the area can provide a lot of mentorship to those of us just starting out and trying to build something from scratch. Certainly there are resources they have available to themselves that aren't always available on a startup budget. So being able to network with larger organizations, building those bridges between the startup community and the established business community is one of the real advantages to 1 Million Cups.
Her odds are pretty low that she's going to find the house she loves. So Lisa's decided to go out and use Kezio to really find the houses that she loves.
1 Million Cups started to weave a social fabric that's changing the way we talk about entrepreneurship in Kansas City. From what can those entrepreneurs do for me to what can I do for these entrepreneurs to help them be successful.
There's been a lot of groups that have tried to think and start different meetup groups, but never for a common cause of just how can we help each other. And so that conversation piece allowed us to say, you know what, just talk.
The importance of communication between entrepreneurs, that's huge. As an entrepreneur, typically, I feel like we're locked away in dungeons most of the time doing our work in quiet and in the dark. So the ability to get out and network with people around the community is huge.
Get together and talk about what you're doing, what's working, what's not. And the reality is that we're all having the same issues. We're all having the same problems in starting our companies or running our companies. We all have a product that we want people to buy. We all need staff and resources to build that product and sustain it. We all need to make money so that our families can eat. And then we all need to be able to use each other as a resource to come together and have those conversations of what do you need, how can I help, what's worked, what hasn't, and those conversations really help to solve a lot of those problems.
I presented back in November, and that presentation was great because I was able to actively ask questions to the audience and also get questions that I hadn't even thought of answered. So even before I was running into problems that I would in the future see, they were already asking and helping answer those questions for me. So that interconnectivity has been really, really great and a huge benefit to the community here in Kansas City.
It's a safe place where entrepreneurs can come and test their ideas. They can learn from other entrepreneurs. And if you're in the audience and you're an aspiring entrepreneur or a serial entrepreneur, you're gonna walk away with something different. So I think everybody comes for different reasons, but really the primary reason is to support the local companies.
The value of having Kauffman as a resource has kind of evolved a little bit as a small business owner. And when we launched back in 2009, Kauffman was kind of this big organization, more of a think tank. And so kind of from our day-to-day, we didn't always see a lot of interaction. With the advent of 1 Million Cups and really tying it into the local Kansas City community, they become a vital link for community building.
Kauffman is the mecca of entrepreneurship in the world. We are the largest private foundation that focuses on entrepreneurship and education. So 1 Million Cups really focuses on community building, which is extremely important in starting new ventures, but the rest of my team is working at the forefront of entrepreneurial education, working on our community college initiative, working on a few global projects. So I am just one puzzle piece in a much larger puzzle in what my team is doing here at the Kauffman Foundation. So in November 2012, we launched our second location in Des Moines, Iowa. They've seen a lot of success there, and that really helped me validate the program. We are going to Houston in the coming weeks. We're going to St. Louis shortly after that, and then we're going to keep growing throughout the year to try and end this time next year with 20 cities running this program on a weekly basis.
The idea of 1 Million Cups of Coffee changing the landscape of entrepreneurship is pretty awesome.
Thanks a bunch, everybody, for coming. Keep spreading the word. This is so great. Thanks.
A co-production of KCPT and Outpost Worldwide, at home in Kansas City. Production, post, content.